we give Slacks one. You have to happen sometime, you know. Let's see what our commentators have to say about this draft. It is over to Gods and OD Pixel for game one of Alliance versus Vega Squadron.
Prepare for battle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Asus RoG DreamLeague. I'm Pixel. I'm here with Gods, and we're ready to see for the first game of the first series of the day. We've got Vega up against Alliance, the start of what's going to be 4 back-to-back Alliance extravaganzas. And this first game, the draft is out. Alliance once again pulling out the loaded gyrocopter, something that we did see them do already at the DreamLeague. And if I remember correctly, it was successful, wasn't it?
Yeah, they won that game. I was a little surprised. Gyrocopter is just a hero that's not seen much love over the last year or so with patches, but he's back in the hands of Loader here in DreamLeague. And Alliance, interesting draft. Limp Tiny, a classic kind of player hero combo. Him and Hanskin have worked so well together over the years with Complexity, with Ninjas in Pajamas, and this is going to be one of Limp's best, most comfortable heroes. They would pick it on the Complexity days when they didn't even have the IO, so this is nothing unfamiliar for Limp and Hanskin themselves, but they will be pairing it a bit with a Lich, which is a nice kind of dual lane mid. You can deny a few creeps, make that lane a bit easier for the Tiny, and just make sure that he doesn't get pressured too much in lane.
So, I mean, talking about the drafts overall, the panel obviously had their opinions, kind of going Vega, Slacks with Alliance. Do you favour a certain size lineup here?
I feel good about Vega's mid game. It looks really strong with the Slada Darkseid duo, and just the Moran as a kind of core / mid hero is going to work really well for them. They can chase down, pick off heroes so easily. There's no running away from a glimpse when you're amped up. And the early game is going to come down to FNG's Enchantress. So I feel like if FNG does well in the early game, finds a few pickoffs and gets some kind of just key farm and items for himself, the game will go very well for Vega. So Alliance need to be kind of defensive and avoid those ganks coming their way.
And so in this mid lane then, FN against Limp, and as you said, obviously Limp being backed up by Hanskin's Lich. Is this going to be a tricky lane for FN, or should FN still do alright in the Moran? Is this more just about making sure that Limp gets an even trade in terms of CS?
It should be alright for FN. He's still going to get out-farmed for sure, but he'll get enough farm that he can make do. He can always fall back into the jungle, arrow some big creeps later on if he feels like he needs a bit more farm and XP. It's going to just come down to the right balance between him and the Enchantress. The nice thing about the Lich mid, unlike maybe an IO, is it's a bit easier to gank. Lich, even with the high base movement speed, has no actual escape spells, whereas IO can always tether away, so makes the mid lane a very appetizing gank for FNG with an early smoke rotation potentially.
And this choice again from Alliance down bottom to have Loader farming on the hard lane essentially for Alliance, obviously backed up by EGM Shadow Demon. This is something that Alliance are definitely doing more often than not, aren't they? Always putting Loader down on the aggressive lane.
Hanskin at the bottom rune.
Let's see how this plays off. FNG to catch him out. He's got a bit of a change done there as he follows for the troll. Trevor Hanskin trying to slow FNG down, but he's going to look to chase. Hanskin popping a salve, but he's almost going to have to certainly look to try and get himself killed, hoping to be bashed, but it ain't going to happen. FNG with the micro gets himself the first blood.
Yeah, even popped the salve too, so a bit unlucky there. Perhaps just wanted to try and walk in without using the salve, but it's always hard to know what to do in the moment there, and he may have died before getting to RoG.
Yeah, and I think
use that salve.
I think as well it looked like aggro to the RoG to one of his creeps to make sure that RoG didn't get the deny. Meanwhile down bottom, making a bit of go onto EGM. Nice stun onto Loader, but defensive disruption from EGM. Make sure the Loader's not taken down. But again, as we're seeing, just FNG getting mobile across the map and starting to do his best to shake Alliance up a bit.
Yeah, it's still good aggression from Vega, and that TP led to Hanskin. That rotation led to Hanskin TPing bottom, which means he's not helping out the mid lane. So FN's got this straight 1v1 matchup for a little bit, which is something he'll be happy with. The top lane also 1v1. I haven't really said too much about that, but Void is going to have a rough time against a Darkseer. Whenever you're CSing against the Darkseer, it's going to be tough because of the Iron Shell. You can't easily time walk off the damage. You can only time walk a small amount of it, and Darkseer's just going to out-farm you. You can take the neutral camps as well as the lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can see already Darkseer just skyrocketing ahead this game, 24 for 0. Absolutely brilliant start for Mag.
It's been inflated. He found a stack on the small camp, which he pulled.
Oh, mid lane.
Wow, that's straight up solid. That's why Limp plays Tiny. He knows the hero's potential.
And
he maximizes everything.
Apparently underestimates the hero's potential. That was One of the freest kills I've seen in a while here on DreamLeague in the mid lane. Just walk up and bam! Not even an attempt to get out.
Makes it look easy.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice news for Limp, who was already pretty much even on the CS with FM, but that bit of a kill is going to give him that nice bit of a burst. But unlikely that we'll see FM make that mistake again. We'll be sure to estimate the power of the Tiny accurately next time he decides to wander too close.
Lane only gets harder though, as Limp now level 5. He's going in again. Toss back, trying to kill FN. Did have the avalanche, but doesn't go for the kill.
Down bottom again, FNG going in aggressive. Managed to trap out on Hansken. Hans gets down again. Vega finds one. A try for a crush for Loader. Don't quite get in now with the shadow poison. Iceberg's got to back off. FNG just causing so many issues for Alliance. Here's Enchantress. May just even find another kill. EGM falling low. He's going to go down. FNG will pay with his life, but FNG being a right little nuisance here for Alliance on the bottom lane. On top, Limb's coming for rotation. Has the haste rune. Mag looking for the juke. Can catch him out. He has got the combo. Avalanche into toss. This is going to be enough to kill him straight away. And Mag surge back up. He might still be able to make it out. Limp trying for the body blocks. Pops the stick charges. He's got a toss. He's going to get it off. Limp. No! He's not quite enough damage. Oh, he does go in. He does get the kill. FNG. Has he actually got the damage to do this? We'll see if Fan can help Limp out. Limp's just going to go for the TP. So Limp. It's close, but he does get away with a kill onto Mag. Meanwhile, down bottom, the action just does not stop this game. A bit of a go onto Loader. Kinetic field's down, but EGM's presence enough to stop Vega advancing for more. So 3 for 3 at the moment. 5 minutes in, it's all kicking off across the map.
Yeah, the bottom lane is actually going quite well for Alliance. Even with the Enchantress's pressure, the death to kill EGM, not worth it when you give Loader a solo kill. So while it's a support for support trade, it's a solo kill for the Alliance carry. And Loader's got phase boots, he's out farming the Slider. Slider's not getting good farm at all here. No. Iceberg is having a very rough time. So I'd say, all in all, this bottom lane, big win for Alliance. But as far as the other two lanes go, Alliance having the better of the mid lane as well. The top lane, slightly Darkseid favor, but that's been kind of negated by that rotation from the Tiny. So across the board, it does feel like a laning stage victory for Alliance so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Top lane, Jonas Fan, he is in a pretty good place in terms of farming. 33 CS in a lane where we talked about the pressure that Mag's going to be able to apply onto him. Jonas Fan's playing it nicely. And the bottom lane, it's going to get harder for Vega to make things happen against Loader once he hits 6, because the cooldown is such a great way of just turning around a fight and forcing Vega to back off.
He's actually out-farming the Darkseid. The CS is misleading because of the neutrals, which don't really give you regular gold. So Void is actually getting the better of this lane for now, but that may change. There's all this pressure, there's all these heroes up there.
Nice arrow from FM, and he will take the kill as well as the bounty rune. Nice little freebie there for FN. Arrows on point, Hansken not a lot he can do. Still top lane, Jonas Fan's got issues. Mag and FNG are still looking for him. He has a Chronos Trail, will be dropped by Mag. He's not going to do anything here. Jonas Fan's still got a question what the hell's going on up on this top lane. It's a bit of a shambles.
Just like ran through this top jungle to escape.
Oh, Iceberg.
Interesting.
I mean, they're all coming up here on the side of Vega. Iceberg's come up.
FNG just like snuck back into the jungle, although he may walk into Tiny now.
They will have the glimpse back if Shimmer could get into range, but it doesn't look like he can. Iceberg tries to go in for a crush, knowing that Jonas Fan used the time off, but Jonas Fan just turns around with the chrono. Loader comes in, but he's going to get glimpsed back down to the bottom lane, and toss from Limp will be enough to disperse of Iceberg. So, what kind of actually going on down there?
That was so bizarre, that whole like 60 seconds of action. The Tiny TP's in, doesn't find a single here in the trees. FNG somehow roams through the... I didn't realize this was a jungle up at the top here that you could walk through, but he walked all the way from the T1 tower to the T2 tower at top lane, and then got into the Radiant jungle somehow. Like, I'm confused.
And at the same time, Loader came up there, got glimpsed back, but he's all right with that because the whole of Vega went up there, so he has this absolutely free lane that he got glimpsed back into. So he's like, all right, I'll stay down here and farm if you insist, Sherma. But yeah, a little bit of a mess up there in mid lane though. A bit of a jumping onto FN. Leaping away, not quite enough burst damage from them to take him down. But still, as it goes on, 4 for 4, you'd say this, in your eyes, does slightly favor Alliance, this kind of momentum, or is it still 50-50?
It's 50-50. Vega kind of equalized the laning advantage Alliance had by taking an early T1 tower, so that gives them a bit of a gold boost, and they're playing fast enough with the Enchantress where they're taking objectives and applying a decent amount of pressure right now.
Wait.
Nice. Sioma.
Making sure Limp doesn't get the rune. And, yeah, well... Alliance.
Mirana's recovered since getting solo killed by the Tiny. They're pretty much dead even as far as the two mid laners go. This game gets kind of scary for Vega when Tiny gets Blink, so I think they want to be looking to make plays and moves happen over the next couple of minutes before Tiny gets that item. Because once Tiny has it, there's so many free kills for him to pick up on heroes like Enchantress, Disruptor. Even the Mirana has to be careful with the raindrop for that Tiny solo kill potential. So that's the item which you've got to be most worried about right now if you're in Vega's shoes.
EGM seeing if he can maybe set something up down here on the bottom lane. Eyes on to Iceberg. He's going to look for the disruption into the cooldown. As Loader closes in. He's got Handscan perfect. He can get the start. They can go for that. Handscan can't quite get close enough. Iceberg's out of there. Moonlight Shadow comes out from FN, and Vega are alright. In fact, they may find something in return. A good glimpse from Shoma, bringing Handscan back into the hands of Iceberg. Coming in with a crush. FNG lays down damage with the impetus. One more would do it. Can he get it off? No, he can't. FN will come in to seal the deal, finish off the job, take down the Lich. Now he's looking for more. Arrow's going to miss. Looking on TTM, lying down a Blizzard driver. Limp turned up with a two-man avalanche toss. He brings down the Disruptor. Alliance chasing for more. Good disruption from EGM, allowing Limp to get in place for the follow-through toss. He doesn't even need it. Now punch to the back, and Limp claims the double kill. So Alliance to come out on top of that engagement down bottom.
That's a really big rotation for Limp, especially when he gets the kills too. We talked about how the Tiny Blink is the one thing you've got to worry about. Well, you've just sped up that Blink by probably 2 minutes, maybe a minute and a half or so, because Tiny just got two big kills out of that bottom lane rotation. So he's now pulling even further ahead. Loader's doing really well on the Gyrocopter. This is scary stuff for Vega.
FNG. He's, well, Jonas found him, but not a lot that the Void could do on his own about this in Enchantress with a couple of points in Untouchable. Mid lane though, could be where the fight kicks off. Vega sending in the team. Limp's there at the moment. Heading away, but immediately glimpses back. No. Level 6 yet, of course, on Shona. Still just level 4, so Static Storm won't be there. Limp with the toss back, trying to play his way out. This is going to do it with the Chrono coming in from Jonas and Fan on the back liners. In fact, he's scored 3. He's killed 1. He missed the wood Shoma with the stick charges to get the Shoma alive. The top as EGM lands on his head, though, that'll be enough to squish him. There's Alliance again finding 2 with some very close team plays. Great Chronosphere. And they get FNG note. The stick charges are enough to keep him up. But again, Vega trying to go in hard for these big kills. Limp able to play around it. And Alliance finding some action in return. And we're seeing at points like that, they need Shoma to try and find that level 6. They need the Static Storm, really, it feels like, to really secure these fights, Vega.
Yeah, and again, it's Limp getting a kill. He then falls back. He'll farm some neutrals. He has Blink Dagger here 11 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
He's picked it up.
And Limp, we saw yesterday when he was playing TA, if he starts to get these timings on Tinies, on TAs, where he can begin making and continuing to make these plays across the map, he can very easily get absolutely out of control. So very much the player to watch, I feel, at this stage of the game, to see if he can keep this early game momentum going with the early Blink timing.
Yeah. Very dangerous stuff. And Vega, their answer doesn't really come anytime soon. The Slaughter's Blink Dagger is some ways off. The mech on Darkseid perhaps the better option as far as having some more sustain and team fight. You may look to group up and fight as 5 around the mech. Tiny, because of how solo pick oriented he is with a Blink Dagger, doesn't necessarily do well. He can't blink into a team fight as the hero to start off that engagement. He relies on finding a hero kind of off to the sides of the fight and then not getting caught, because if you blink into 5, you're most likely getting a kill but then dying for it.
Yeah. Limp with the blink reveal, straight onto Iceberg. In comes the Train Frost, Handscan to secure the kill. Alliance taking down Iceberg with Limp's first reveal. Doesn't get the goal, but he'll be happy with being involved in a nice pick-off onto the safe planer of Vega as Iceberg's down.
They look at Vega and they're like, well, their tempo controls the Slaughter. He's the guy looking to get their blink. We've beaten him to the blink. Now let's slow that down even more. So Tiny's first gank goes his way.
They've beaten him by a country mile. I mean, look at Iceberg's net worth. He is very much a fair bit behind where he'd want to be at this stage. Only 2.3k gold in total. This Slaughter has had a rough start, and I don't quite know how they're going to get him back in the game, Gods. What is the plan when you've had a safe play Slaughter start off like this?
You almost need to get him involved in a kill or 2 to get him back in, but he's level 6 only, so he doesn't really offer much in a gank opportunity. If you had like levels 8, maybe you have a couple points in sprint and crush.
I mean, it kills kill. It may just be the Lich, but everything counts for Iceberg at this point. FNG realizes no kill securing from him. He has to let Slaughter get the touch. Meanwhile, top lane, Show the Slayer playing around with Alliance. Showed us a fan, trumps himself into the trees. Goes full Artor. They won't be able to chase anyone down. Alliance just holding up on the top lane. But yeah, it's all about getting Iceberg back in the game, but that's going to be quite an ordeal. Just that massive jump off as well halfway down the board. You see 2.8k and then bam, of the Void, 4.7k.
Yeah,
to have that differentiation there this early on, that's not something we see every game.
No, he's chilling down there with the plebs, the supports. I don't know what Iceberg's thinking. He wants to climb up the ladder right now. That kill was a nice start, even though it's just the Lich. It got him like almost a full level, as well as a decent amount of CS. So it's a decent climb. He's halfway to his Blink Dagger now, so it's still progress for the Slider. But Iceberg has more work to do.
And Mech on the Dark Sea, as you said, you know, team fight tools coming together for Vega. See if they can group up and find those picks.
They've got the Static Storm in another 25 seconds, so likely we see them look to make plays around this. Like anytime they've got Static Storm, smoke up, try and kill a hero. Like you can gank a Void because of this. He's not going to time walk away. You can potentially go on someone. I guess the Gyro and Tiny are just a bit too tanky unless you want to bring 3 or 4 heroes, but...
I mean, they really are at this point in time, because you look at Loader, you know, walking around with the D-Lance. He's in a great place for this stage of the game against cores that just haven't received the farm. Obviously, FN's Mirana. It's not doing too shabby. He's starting to work with the Aghanims, but it's not going to be a kind of a record timing. He's only about halfway through it in the moment. Still needs a few more minutes of farm to get to that position. Mid lane, Alliance putting on the pressure. And the question is, what do Vega do to stop this? The Alliance with Jonas and Fan holding the Chronosphere ready and is beckoning.
They've Iron Shell the Slider, they're setting up. They've got to get multiple Iron Shells out and then find a good initiation using the Disruptor to force the fight. It looks like Alliance showing respect to that initiation and it backed off. They also didn't have good vision around this mid lane, no sentries, so it could have just been like a Moonlight Shadow initiation. And then Slider gets in. You don't need a blink if you somehow can get in melee range with a Moonlight Shadow, so Alliance respecting the Vega catch and will back off.
Yeah, absolutely, not just the Moonlight, but of course the Surge, the Glimpse, a lot of things to allow Iceberg to close gaps. But as you said, just Alliance realizing this, playing it safe, knowing that they're in the driver's seat at the moment. They don't want to throw anything away, and they want to continue this clean game. Just keep the farm going for Loader. Very much at the top, 7.4k net worth at the moment, and looking to continue to skyrocket even higher and higher. I'm interested to see what he builds as well. I believe last time I want to say did go for like Dragon Lance into S and Y, and just went kind of full stats, full mid-game fighting, and it worked out.
Yeah. That's exactly what he did. He also went back for the Helmet of Dominator at some point to start stacking Ancients for when they realized it was going to go late game. So we'll see what kind of approach he takes. For now, though, the approach for Alliance is back to the gank.
And Iceberg, the man who's not been having a great game, it's about to get even worse as he gets taken down by the boys on Alliance. Another kill for Lim. And straight towards the mid lane.
He was 1800 gold too. He was close to the blink.
That's painful. They need it. They need something to really kick these fights off. Homing missile on the way to Sherman. Drop down a kinetic fit. Transfer by Stream. He'll be able to give this a run for his life if he wants, but he's actually going to let FN take it. And is he going to bop? It is going to bop, but it's obviously very low level at the moment. Not too much damage for FN to worry about. Alliance are kind of trailing across this area of the jungle. They know that Vega's in the neighborhood. Mag hiding in the trees. He's going to go for the TP out. He does not want to stick around for this one. Neither does Shoda. Trying for TP himself as well. He will get himself safely back to base. In fact, all of Vega will. They'll avoid this movement from Alliance. But Alliance down in position. And may just want to try and take a tier 2. Roshan's up, but I guess Alliance's lineup not too great at really doing it at that much of a speed. So,
are they going to
looks like they're going to go? It's not going to be a super quick one.
Yeah, they've got the Vlads is the big thing here, so they've got the sustain for it, and they've also got a bit of extra damage and armor there. So the Vlads is the key item here that allows them to roach. You do it early enough on as well. Roach is not all too strong, so yeah, it's working for him.
And I guess looking at the side of Vega, they got 5 men up on the top half of the map. No one really looking to head down towards this area, so even though it's not the quickest, it's a safe one for Alliance.
Yep. You don't want to fight into the chrono cooldown and the Tiny if you're in Vega's shoes right now. You also just don't have good intel as to what they're doing. You don't know for sure they're in this pit, so it's going to be a free Roche and something Alliance can use to start taking more towers and objectives on the map. Very, very good decision from them to go into the pit.
There we have it. Limp picks it up as well. 2.6k gold. Still yet to pick up his next item. I mean, Jumanji does just go for kind of the standard Echo Saber.
Echo Saber,
as next up.
Echo Saber, Ags, and Shadow Blade are the 3 items you normally see considered. I've seen Limp go for quite a bit of the Shadow Blade, I almost want to say, but Echo Saber just gives you such good burst damage with your combo. But he's not bought it, so I think he's got it. 220.
Yeah, as you said, he goes for the Shadow Blade. I mean, I guess when you can get it at this pace, 18 minutes into have Blink and Shadow Blade, that's an absolute nightmare for the supports of Vega, because they've got to deal with this Tiny running around the map. They need to step up the map control, get the vision out. Otherwise, Limp's just going to continue to get these free pickoffs. So he's 7-0-2, involved in 9 of the 10 kills so far. It's it's another standout performance from Limp so far. At least it's panning out to be this game, 18 minutes in.
It really hurts the economy of the enemy team when they're forced to buy all those sentries on their supports. And you know, even when your opponents have lots of sentries, Shadow Blade's still a value item for scouting, because you've got the Blink. If you Shadow Blade into like a group of heroes, if you're fast, you can often blink out anyways. And then if there's a team fight happening, you can still rely on the blink. If you know they've got sentries down and you've got to initiate as Tiny, you just blink it instead. So you've got 2 different ways and 2 different styles of initiation with the duo of Blink and Shadow Blade.
Vega at the moment moving through the jungle of Alliance, smoked up. We'll see if they're able to get a latch onto anyone. Up towards top, both Hanskin and Loader. Clinging to the tier 2 tower. They may actually have a good wrap around as well, but the jump in is going to be there onto Loader. He's actually outside the kinetic field and the static storm. He's going to try and walk this off. Limp coming in from the back line. Burst down the truck. The youngest fan jumping in with the 2-man chrono. EGM doing his best from the sidelines, punching in, dropping down the poison. FN drops the stick charges, but there's the toss for Limp. EGM lands on the lady's head. 3 down on Vega, and it looks like it may get that bit more painful. Hanskin looking towards Mag. There will be a missile going across as well. Limp's heading down. Mag may be a little bit too speedy for them to follow through on. Again with the surge and the blink. They are moving, they're chasing. They are going to chase. Now, how deep do they want to chase? Does EGM go for the destruction? He can't quite make it. Limp though with the avalanche toss. He can. Oh my goodness. And Iceberg looking towards EGM, so they will make the Shadow Demon pay for it, but Hanskin, he gets out. Limp to escape as well. 20 minutes in, it's not looking to get any smoother for Vega. This is getting as rough as it can be.
Loader was just so hard to bring down there with the Dragon Lance. He didn't have the BKB, he just had the Open Club.
He's blinked it. He's got the backup of Jonathan fan, but a bit of an unfortunate blink from Limp, because he get himself stuck.
He's got Loader to back him up.
Yeah, this is looking to be not too much of an issue for Limp. Indeed, the team's around him. Limp's out. He's fine. Loader may not be though. BKB already used it. Still get Limp back. He needs back, but he needs him now. Jonathan fan jumping in, looking onto FN. They managed to keep Loader alive for the time being. The final impetus will take him down though. Limp's come back across, but he's low on mana. They'll still look to chase down Shoma with the punches. FNG trying to do his best to throw in impetus. But they do lose Loader this time round. Still Alliance finds 2 kills.
Because of this Aegis, so he doesn't have to worry about being low. He can still look to re-engage.
FN. It's being lined up here by Jonathan Fan. One more leap. And the Mirana is out. So you kill Loader, but still, you need to do a lot more to rectify the state of this game if you're Vega. But as we're seeing, 3 highest on the board, all over on the side of Alliance. And Iceberg, still a fair bit of climbing to do in terms of getting the necessary items on the old starter. And it looks like Limp. Is he just going to burn the Aegis? No. He's just playing around with the jungle camps. Oh no, maybe he is. Yeah.
Doesn't really matter to him so much. It's still got maybe a minute left, but by the time you go back to base, heal up, TP out, your Aegis is going to expire before a fight. So.
No, I guess so. And he needed,
Fine call from him. No reason not to. And he'll be good to go and ready to keep farming the lane.
Silver Edge as well at this stage. It's gonna really allow him to, I guess, blow up the Enchantress that little bit more. Also kind of nice, I guess, when you reveal yourself going on the Mirana, you've not got to worry too much about the damage of the Starstorm hitting you, especially with the Ags, because of the damage reduction. So you come out of the Invis, you take her down, and you're not going to be worried about bursted too low from that combo.
So we'll see where his next moves are going to be. Has TP bottom, perhaps looking for Iceberg. But
poor old Iceberg.
He's had a rough game.
Even second lowest in his team at the moment.
Yeah, when your support start overlapping you, it's bad news. And it's not like you have to support overlapping an offlaner. This is the quote-unquote safe lane farming slider.
I mean, to be fair, it's not like FNG's not having a good game, because he is, you know what I mean? He's 3-1-4, so FNG, by all means, in terms of his own team, There's a reason why he's up there, but it is just a bit of a worry that
Well,
Iceberg hasn't managed to break away.
And it's not even like FNG was just like ditching the slider at bottom and just going to jungle and stuff. He was spending time at bottom. He was looking for kills. He did find a kill or two there, so this hasn't been quite the outcome for Slider they were hoping for.
Yeah, Limp and Loader just in a whole another world at the moment. Loader with pretty much all the tools he requires to fight. Didn't go for the SNY build in the end this time around. Did just rest for the standard. Iceberg is still trying to come into this one. Loader with a quick reaction. The BKB and Limp just jumps in, and again, Iceberg to be taken down. Tried for a bit of an initiation, but he's punished. Limp's chasing down for more with the Silver Edge. And the cover of the Moonlight Shadow. They drop down a sentry. They've revealed Limp, but they can't do anything about it. The Chain Frost comes out, bouncing nicely between FNG and Shoma the Slayer. Oh, they're dead. They're dead. 3 of them down again on Vega. FN tries to CP out, but there's no messing in front of the face of Jonas and Fan. Instant Chronosphere. A 4th kill for Alliance. And my goodness, gods, this is getting very messy. We've seen some one-sided games here at the DreamLeague. This looks to potentially be one that we can add to the collection.
Yeah, this is a line that's really snowballing out of control. It's great to see the Gyrocopter pick work again, because you ask most like teams and captains, like, oh, would you consider picking Gyrocopter? And they just kind of laugh at you, but like, no, Gyrocopter's a terrible
Loader makes it work so well.
Yeah, and it's not like it's a high skill cap hero, so you see Alliance pick to make it work. Not to blame Loader or anything, it's more just the hero by itself it's a pretty straightforward thing. You rocket barrage heroes near you, you've got the farming tools of Flat Cannon, you're pretty good in team fights, but most people just don't rate him because of all the nerfs he's received. But you see something like this and you're like, maybe we should pick Gyro more. You don't have to be well-versed. Like, it's not like your carry player needs to practice and play a lot of Gyrocopters to suddenly pick him back up again. It's not like an Invoker or a Meepo type hero. Any carry player can play a Gyrocopter, but the fact that it's still working is definitely impressive.
I mean, and not just that anyone can play it, it's the fact that most carry players have played it in previous patches. You know what I mean? It's been something that a lot of teams did run when it was back at kind of the height of the meta. So yeah, it'll be interesting if we do see more come out. I mean, I certainly wouldn't put it past Alliance to definitely bring out the hero in the upcoming qualifiers.
I think the biggest reason why it works for Alliance and they're the team to pull out is it fits their laning style. They like going for these aggressive dual lanes and tri lanes. They're almost, I think both times they pick Gyro, they've run it in the off lane with a like EGM support, a Shadow Demon, a Dazzle, something to help it out. And that's where the aggressive fighting carries are what suit Loader the most when at least when he's playing the off lane role. He'll have his games on Naga Siren in the safe lane still. But when they're playing this aggro dual lane or aggro tri-lane style, that's where Gyrocopter is very powerful.
Yeah, that's true. I would be surprised if we see teams do it in the safe lane, kind of sit AFK farming for the first 10 minutes.
You're better off picking a Sven. Like, if you're going to do that, pick a Sven, get your helm, stack Ancient, farm away. But picking a Gyrocopter for safe lane to farm, not really worth it.
Well, Loader now with the Talisman of Evasion. It's going to be even harder to be brought down in these fights. And Limp just still, we saw it in pretty much the game one of the series they played yesterday, where Limp skyrocketed ahead, and today certainly another situation where Limp's performance is apparent. He's on his way to the BKB now on top of the Silver Edge, about 1,000 or so to go for that final recipe, and then at that point you've got 2 cores on the side of Alliance, which if you're Vega at this stage with what you've got in your kit, it's unlikely you're going to be able to kill them in these team fights.
The Talisman on Loader is a very interesting item. I want to say it's actually a good item. Yeah. But you look at Vega and you think there's no right-click damage. It's just a Slider who doesn't even have his armor yet. It's full magic from Mirana, from the Darkseer combo, the Disruptor, but it's the pushing item. It's the item that helps you go high ground with, because you can be, like with an Aegis on Loader, you can just hit the tower, and the evasion and the agi, the armor you get from the Butterfly, are just really good for pushing, and it synergizes as well with the disruption illusions of Shadow Demon. So a disrupted Loader illusion is most powerful with a Butterfly. So I like the item pickup. It just doesn't like appear like as the obvious choice when you look at what Vega has.
I guess it's nice against FNG's inputs of spam as well.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. Because he's the one hero that can sit back and throw decent right clicks at you.
Especially once an amplifier's down on you, so the vision's always there for FNG to throw him out.
Lions making a little smoke back. I like this play. Who can they find the jump on?
Jonas and Fan, he did some good chronos this game. This is going to be enough to the collection on to 2. Then the combo down. Now Loader with the 4-man call down. Shoma down. They've lost the Iceberg yet again. FNG chased down with a rocket barrage. The homing missiles his way. FNG will be able to keep himself alive with the native dependent, but they found FN diffused down by Jonas and Fan's diffusal blade. Jonas and Fan jumping in, forcing FNG to back. Trying to get him away, and Limp comes in, tosses FNG into the midst of the Alliance. Loader brings him down with a quick rocket barrage, 24-8. There will be a pause. It's a GG pause. They're out. They're done it. FN has had enough, and Vega as a team just getting outclassed, outplayed here in game 1 by Alliance. 24 for 8 before the 28-minute mark. It just never came together for Vega and Iceberg. A hero, a player as well that we've seen in the past come out with some amazing performances, but this game, I don't know if it's the hero